It's raining Maanvi Gagroo releases this week. Not only is she facing live trials with her siblings in season 3 of TVF's Stripling on Z5, which I reviewed here, she's also facing life hurdles with her friends in this week's other big streaming release, season 3 of Amazon Prime Video's 4 More Shots Please. Let's break it down. After season 2 was reportedly the most watched Indian show on Prime Video back in 2020, 4 More Shots Please season 3 was kind of a given. But where's everyone at? Well, Siddhi, played by Maanvi Gagroo, is still reeling from the sudden loss of her dad and falling into something of a self-destructive spiral. Umang is still coming to terms with leaving movie star Samara at the altar, and after being publicly shunned for it, she's now set her sights on opening her own fitness studio. Elsewhere, Damani has joined the campaign of an up-and-coming politician after her book exposing government corruption was banned. Lots of shunning and banning on the show. And last but not least, Anjana, played by Kirti Kulhari, continues to flirt with fire as she tries to navigate working with her ex while also adjusting to living with her ex-husband. Remind me, if you get caught kissing your now married ex-husband who then gets thrown out of his house by his current wife, why would you let him move in with you exactly? While season 3, written by Ishita Moitra and Devika Bhagat and directed by Joyita Patpatia, is just as watchable as the first two, for me, 4 More Shots Please remains one of those shows which is incredibly difficult to have a substantial discussion about. It's by no means a terrible show. There are plots, characters, arcs, swanky foreign locations, plenty of interpersonal drama and sincerity. It's all there. Things definitely happen on this show. People we sort of feel for, conflict we're fairly invested in, drama that technically has our attention. But at the same time, aside from being a story about female friendships, which we desperately need more of, there's very little about the series to really shout about or get excited by. It's also perfectly adequate, entirely functional and strictly suitable, with very little to hold on to. It's sort of the narrative equivalent of, yeah, okay, sure, that makes sense, I guess. Oh, okay, then that happens, that's cool, fine. And then they do that, yeah, go for it, why not? I guess that tracks, cool, sweet. Groovy.
बचपन से राजा बेटा सिंड्रोम के साथ बड़े होते हैं और हमारे रोमांटिक फ्यूचर की वाट लगा देते हैं.
I still love you.
Fuck off.
To its credit, 4 More Shots Please is a well-packaged show. There's a fun album, good-looking people in improbably great-looking clothes. At times it felt like watching a fashion show with dialogue. We also get to travel everywhere from Punjab to Italy, and I even love the title song. Okay, I know I'm really clutching at straws here, but what choice is there? Season 3 works best when the plot moves along briskly and things keep happening rather than stopping to dwell too much on the internal state of these group of friends. New adventures, new locations, new experiences, new characters. Damini's unlikely new career as a political campaign advisor, for example, or Umang and Siddhi going into business together for Umang's new studio, and so on. But speaking of careers, once again we have to talk about this show's heavily sanitized and shiny version of jobs. For example, we see Siddhi trying to rekindle her stand-up comedy career. Remember how she became an overnight comic sensation last time? This is a show that clearly has no idea about how stand-up works or even what a comedy set looks or sounds like. Similarly, Damini is a kind of cliched, fearless journalist that just doesn't exist in the real world. I also gotta say that Damini was always my favorite character. Of the 4, she's the one I felt the most for in the previous seasons. But this time around, I genuinely struggled to muster even an iota of empathy for her arc or any of her decisions. Not to mention that all this show seems to do is throw new men at her and give her yet another love triangle to get embroiled in every season. I'm also not sure what you're supposed to do when it feels like the male characters in your show about female friendships just somehow seem more interesting. Whether it's Siddhi's too good to be true knight in shining armor, Mihir, played by a gentle Rajiv Siddhartha, or this season's wonderful new entrant, Sean, played by a well-cast Jim Sarb as Umang's patient, kind, wise beyond his years yoga instructor colleague. But for me, the most well-realized character remains Neil Bhupalam's Varun, Anjana's ex-husband. Neil once again nails the entitled, selfish, destructive man-child cartoon with a buffoonish charm that is Varun. Also, I'm not sure how to say this or when I'm supposed to casually slip it in, but it's got to be said that Anjana and Varun's young daughter Arya has got to win the award for the most annoying on-screen child character seen this year. Why must we always make young children on screen squeaky and insufferable? Why?
Molu, Mama Dad ka divorce ho gaya na? We can't do that, okay?
You can. I saw you doing kissy kissy on the lips.
There's a delightful confrontation-esque scene towards the end of the season where all the characters are sitting at a dining table in Italy. Siddhi has a breakdown and suddenly in that one meal, all the secrets, resentments, hurt and anger from everyone across the table all seems to come gushing out of the woodwork. I'm not sure why, but it's a great moment that stuck with me. It's playful, funny, sad, explosive. Perhaps because it's a moment that showed the signs of the series that could have been. Over its 10 long, mostly humorless episodes, Season 3 of 4 More Shots Please rarely rises above ambient viewing. All I can really say about it is that it truly is one of the shows of 2022, by which I mean it's technically a show that technically released in 2022. You can watch 4 More Shots Please Season 3 on Amazon Prime Video. Would I recommend this show to a friend? I mean, if you've already conquered the internet and seen all there is to see, then sure, why not?